As you can see why, when I was asked a number of times when I was interviewing for this position, as well as even most recently, why did I decide to come back and why did I give up K-12 being Deputy Superintendent of Boston Public Schools and be on track to be a superintendent? And I had a simple, very simple answer. Simple answer that I had was because this is Twin Cities, this is my home, because I came from this system, because I benefited it, because we had such a wonderful teachers in Minneapolis and St. Paul. And some of you know of my background a little bit, and if you don't, I was not born in Minnesota, I was born in South Korea. And when I was 11 years old, I was adopted by wonderful parents who are Lutherans and taught me a value of education and put me in public education. And that gave me opportunity to do many different things. If you'd have said when I was a child growing up in Korea that I will be one day a deputy superintendent of Boston Public Schools, but more importantly, be the executive director for Generation Next, you would have said, you gotta be crazy. But all that being said, I think what it emphasized clearly is education is the key, is the ticket for all of our kids. And that is what I know. And I just want to share some of the things that I know based upon my brief experience in K-12 education for a few seconds. I know we're timed for 5-minute speeches, and I'll make sure I'm within 5 minutes. This is what I know, that we are very fortunate to live in a community, and as well as in the state, where education is valued and understood as the ticket to the future, where life chances are better than the odds that I gave myself last night for the lottery tickets. I'm sure some of you play that as well. This is what I know, that we are fortunate to live in a nation where, regardless of your family background status, regardless of your income, your race, your nationality, your religion, your language, your disability, your gender orientation, whether you arrived here yesterday, or you're temporarily homeless, or you live here all your life, you're entitled to a free public education. Today, we face most important, impactful decision in the history of this nation, whether we educate all, not just some of our citizens. The complexity and urgency of this work requires all of our hands to be on deck, and we cannot coast to change. All of us must act deliberately to ensure all of our students are graduating from high school. It is our job right now, and it is a job of our students to take advantage of this gift. This is truly a gift. Regardless of whether you start, where you start, your trajectory will be better by having great public education. And that is what we're all about. The work of Generation Next is about collective, as you have heard from Eric, as well as Kim and Sarah, and then Breaking the Ice. About our work is a collective impact. It's about narrowing the achievement gap. And you know the data that some of our students are struggling in Twin Cities. So that being said, I just want to quickly review with you some of five community-wide goals that our board has adopted. I think is very important for us to share. First goal that we are very committed to is making sure kindergarten readiness, making sure all kids in our community are ready to learn when they come to school. And that is a tremendous responsibility and goals that we have laid out for ourselves. Second goal is third grade reading. As you know, those of us who are involved in education, if you're not by grade 3 proficient in reading, you're 4 times likely that you will not graduate from high school. So in grade 3, proficiency in reading is a critical indicator, a leading indicator for future success. Third goal is 8th grade math. We want to make sure all of our students are proficient in math, which gets them ready for fourth goal, which is high school graduation. There's no substitute for high school graduation. There's no replacement for high school graduation. There's no alternative to a high school diploma. We must have our kids graduate from high school. Then the fifth goal is post-secondary credential. We want to make sure those of our kids graduate from high school, then be able to go to college, obtain post-secondary credential as well. To accomplish all these goals, one of the things that we are entertaining with our board is rolling out what we call networks. We're looking to roll out 4 initial networks, and we want to make sure that we engage with you as a stakeholder, as a participant, as a partner in this endeavor. This, our work in terms of Generation Next is not about Michael Goar or our board. It's about all of us. But more importantly, it's about our kids and our future. So I look forward to working with all of you and working with you in context of also getting your input as we roll out our networks that will focus heavily on strategies to get at this 5 particular goals that we just described recently.